What is up, everybody? How is it going? Austin Prechtelevate Performance, coming at you live. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Going a little bit live a little bit later today than normal. Just wanted to see if I catch the lunch crowd a little bit. Uh, Hopefully, more people see this and learn more stuff. And yeah, this will hopefully have a positive impact on other people's journeys. Whether your goal is to, lose weight, build muscle, body recomp, all that good stuff. That's what we're going to talk about today. Apologies in advance, still a little bit stuffed up, a little bit sick, but that's okay. Um, we're going to be talking about today what is actually sustainable weight loss. Like, what is that considered, and how much weight should slash can you lose per week, and it be considered sustainable, like long term. And through something being considered sustainable, it means that you're going to be able to maintain it too. Because at the end of the day, right, what is the point in losing all that weight or building all that muscle if you cannot maintain your progress, right? Like, what's the point in going through months and months of stressing yourself out, working out, eating healthy, eating less food than you would probably be preferring to do, if you don't actually get to keep your progress because you end up yo-yoing, right? So that's what we're going to talk about today. So as you guys are tuning in, let me know how your day is going. Feel free to give this video a like, say hello, and yeah, feel free to tag anybody in the comments if you feel like they get value from this. And if you're watching this later time, hashtag replay so I know that you saw it. But let's jump into this. So we're gonna keep this one quick and short and sweet. So when it comes to sustainable weight loss, right? The number that typically comes to mind, and you can also kind of look at this as like a percentage of your total body weight. In a sense as well. That's another way to kind of look at it. What's up, Brianna? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Where are you at in your you got to think, where are you at in your journey right now, though, right? Where are you at in your journey right now? Because sustainable weight loss is typically considered anywhere from half a pound to 2 pounds lost per week, right? And usually, what's up, Sarah? How's it going? You're watching this live. This isn't even a replay. You're catching this one live. Let's go. And so typically, right, for folks who are trying to lose weight, it's anywhere from half a pound to 2 pounds lost per week. And normally, when it comes to weight loss, the slower you go, the more muscle you're going to be able to keep during your weight loss journey, which is ideal, right? We want to keep as much muscle as possible. But one thing you have to take into consideration with that half a pound to 2 pounds lost per week is how or where are you at right now in your journey, right? Are you a total newbie who's just getting started out with your workouts or with your journey, and you don't really know much about workouts, you don't really know much about nutrition, whatever it may be, progress is probably going to be much slower for you because you're not going to know what you're doing super well yet. You're going to maybe mess up on your calories, you might mess up on your macros, you might miss some workouts, whatever it may be. You might not be doing things optimally or effectively. So, you may lose less weight at the beginning. Other people who are just starting out in their journey, one thing to think about is, where are you starting at? Where's your starting point, right? Are you, already, are you already, kind of, pretty close to where you want to be in your goals? Is your goal to lose 10 pounds or 20 pounds? Are you, kind of on the leaner side right now? Progress is probably going to be slower for you. What's up, Sarah? Lost 4 pounds this week. Let's freaking go. That's how we do it. It's that tracking we got you doing. Let's go. Proud of you. That's awesome. And so, you got to think about it this way, guys. You got to think about it this way. Like, where is your starting point, right? If you're, for example, 140 pounds and you're like, like 5'4" or something like that, or maybe like, 5 foot to 5'4", you're like 140 pounds and your goal is to lose 10, 20 pounds. It's going to take longer, right? Because proportionally, are already at a pretty lean weight and you want to push it further. But another example, if you're, around 300 pounds, right? The weight is going to come off a lot quicker at the beginning. And you're going to be able to lose probably, and this is a caveat, more than that half a pound to 2 pounds lost per week. If you lose that within that range, that's amazing. That's great. That's still amazing progress. But one thing that does typically happen is whenever you first start tracking your food, you first start doing a lot of these things, you start realizing, how much food you were consuming, you start keeping track of it, you're monitoring those things, you're doing your workouts, your body's going to react quickly. And a lot of times, if a client is, 250 plus or around 300, it's not unheard of for them to lose anywhere from like 5 to 10 pounds within the first couple of weeks because their body is just like, oh shit, like we're keeping track of this stuff now. We're moving, we're getting this stuff done, and your body may respond. And so proportionally, that's compared to like the lighter you are, right? Every half a pound or 2 pounds is proportionally about the same to what somebody, and this is not to take away from anybody's progress, right? Everybody's progress is amazing. I just want to get that out of the way. Like, any progress you make is incredible, and you should be very proud of it, regardless of how much it is when it comes to the scale. Because I don't think we should let that dictate our day. But just to be like, like realistic about it, like, every pound that is lost at a higher body weight proportionally, things can come off quicker in that regard. So that's just something to prepare yourself for and be aware of. And so, anywhere from half pound to 2 pounds lost per week is sustainable progress. And why is that, right? Why is that? And so, because one of the main reasons is that you don't want to quit, right? You don't want to throw yourself off. You don't want to do something that is so unsustainable that you can't maintain it long term. And some of the benefits to going slower, right, and to not rush it and lose weight all willy nilly as if it's that easy, because oftentimes it's not, right? But just to lose weight without keeping track of those things, and not going for that, proper macro ratio, or having that proper calorie amount, or doing it, which basically leads to this being sustainable in this way, right? With the weight loss being in that range. If you lose more weight than that, do I do birthday shout outs? I mean, I can if you want, if it's your birthday. But you don't want to lose a lot of muscle, right? You don't want to lose a lot of muscle because because if you lose weight faster than that half a pound to 2 pound loss per week, like, even like if you're losing half a pound per week, you're just by default going to lose less muscle than if you're losing 2 pounds per week. I'm not saying either of those is bad. It just depends on your goals. You need to be prepared and aware that the faster you lose weight, the more muscle you're going to lose in the process. Because if you take it slow, your body's able to preserve more of it and help mitigate some of that muscle loss. What's up, bro? How's it going? I see those flames. I see those fire emojis. Appreciate that. And so, if you lose weight faster than that, you're going to lose a lot of muscle in the process. Which, there's a couple of reasons why that's not good. One, you know, for most people, what people want to get aesthetically out of their weight loss journey, that's going to, if you lose a lot of muscle, that's not going to be what most people want at the end of their journey, right? If you lose a shit ton of muscle versus preserving a ton of muscle in your weight loss journey, like, which one would you prefer, right? Like, which one would you rather have, right? 99% of people are going to say, I would rather have more muscle. Why would I want to lose muscle if I don't have to, right? And so you got to be thinking about it this way in your own journey. Another reason, right? Because you lose more muscle, if you lose weight really quickly without having proper nutrition, proper workout protocols, and all that, guess what's going to happen? You're going to slow your metabolism down. The more muscle, the more lean body mass that you have, the more muscle that you have, the higher your metabolism is, because your body needs more energy on a daily basis to keep that muscle going, to preserve that muscle, to keep that going, essentially. And if you lose a bunch of muscle because you're losing weight unsustainably, and you're doing it really quickly, you're going like the burnout route, you're like, cutting your calories like fucking crazy, and you're starving yourself, you're going to lose a lot of muscle. And guess what? You're getting some quicker short-term success, potentially, maybe not even, but potentially. But you're screwing yourself over in the long term, because you're basically, you're like screwing yourself over with your metabolism later on, and you're screwing your body composition up in the long term. Which, like, at the end of the day, like, this is supposed to be about being healthier, right, and feeling better and feeling more confident, and all these other like non-scale victories. That's what this is about, right? It's for the sake of being healthy, not who can get there the quickest, right? And so sometimes we get competitive with ourselves, or sometimes we see other people, hitting these crazy numbers and things like that, which 9 times out of 10, they're not even hitting those numbers. It's just like water weight or glycogen bullshit that's happening, or they're, fasting or whatever the fuck. And so, ignore that anyways, run your own race, and it's you versus you at the end of the day. Like, don't compare your own journey to other people. But you need to, like, be okay with, this being a journey, right? Because this is for health, not for who can, speed run their weight loss journey the fastest, because it's not going to end well, right? It's not going to end well for anybody, or for you, a majority of the time. It's just going to cause you to yo-yo. And so, also, if you're losing a lot of muscle while you're losing weight, you're going to feel weak and unhealthy. Like, you're just not going to feel good. You're going to feel unhealthy, which, again, defeats the purpose of this at the end of the day. If you truly want this for help, right? For health, right? If you truly want this for health, Because like at the end of the day, like if you want to go for health and aesthetics and like and you're wanting to have a certain look, like you have every right to do that. But you know, sometimes our whys need to be a little bit deeper than like surface level needs for it to like stick with us and for us to like really fucking want it, right? There's got to be sometimes something deeper than those like surface level kind of like aesthetic reasons, like you know, because that could be a big component, right? Vanity's like you know, vanity's totally fine, it's totally valid. Like we all want to look and feel how we want to look and feel, but you know, how strong of a why is that truly for you, right? How strong is that during the times when it's going to be hard, or you're going to need you know some like really raw discipline to power through like the struggle that you may be going through at times in your own journey, right? Sometimes, you know, I want a big ass or like I want big pecs or I want big arms or whatever it may be. Sometimes that's not going to cut it in those moments, right? And so, you know, really kind of like having a deeper why to your goals, I think is important. But yeah, so don't rush it, right? So long story short, like don't rush it when it comes to your weight loss journey. That does not mean procrastinate and wait and put it off and keep kicking the can down the road. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that take consistent action over time, but don't you know don't try to rush the process like crazy, because it will happen if you're doing it the right way. If you're actually following a good plan and you're you know you or your coach knows what they're doing, you're going to get there eventually. But you have to have that patience. But also, you know, be willing to like, you know, put in the work at the end of the day. So, um, also, another reason why you should try to stay in that sustainable weight loss range of half pound to 2 pounds lost per week is you're going to slow down the potential for metabolic adaptation to occur. It's going to happen no matter what. Anytime you lose weight or build muscle or whatever, our metabolism shifts. It changes a little bit because our energy needs change. But if you are dropping your calories like crazy and you're like at a very low caloric intake, you're losing weight way faster than that half pound to 2 pounds lost per week range, you're going to be losing a lot of muscle. You're going to be encouraging metabolic adaptation to happen like way fucking faster than it otherwise would have. You're just basically like you're like fast passing that shit to making your weight loss journey way fucking harder than it needs to be in the long term. So I would not recommend doing that either. So also it's less stressful, right? You get to eat more food for a longer period of time if you do this the right way, if you do this the sustainable way. And you know, if so, like honestly, like I tell my clients this all the time, like my goal is for you to be able to eat as much food as possible while still losing weight in a sustainable range, right? Because that's what happens if you get to eat more food. You're generally going to feel better. You're going to be happier. Most people, unless you know, unless you have appetite issues, which is fine. Like there's nothing against that. But you know, most people would be like, yeah, I would like to have more food and lose weight. Like that sounds good. Like I don't see the problem here. Where's the red flag? Like you know who what where's the joke or where's the catch, right? And the only catch is that it's just going to take longer, but it's good that it takes longer because it's going to be sustainable. You're going to keep your results. And this is it. This is the big one, right? This is the ultimate one that I kind of want to like harp on. Doing it this way, slow and steady, winning the race, it promotes the lifestyle. It promotes habitual changes. It promotes changing your habits, right? Instead of yo-yoing, instead of going for quick fixes, instead of taking shortcuts, it promotes sustainable changes. Because guess what's going to happen, right? If like, you know, let's say that you do this fad diet and you do lose weight and you do get closer to your goals, maybe even reach your goals, right? Like 6 months down the line, what the fuck are you going to do when you quit doing that, right? What do you think is going to happen when you stop doing the unsustainable like diet or path that you're doing right now for yourself? What do you think is going to happen, right? It's going to all come back, right? Because you're not maintaining it, because you don't know how to maintain it, or what you were doing was not sustainable. So once you stop doing it, right, all of a sudden, like you're not doing all the crazy shit that you were doing before to try and make it happen and to get those results in the first place. And lo and behold, you're going to gain all of it back, or you're going to shame file or whatever it may be, right? It's not going to be good. And so like we want to prevent that from happening by doing something that you can do consistently over time, day in day out. And for most people, half a pound to 2 pounds is very sustainable. And I would say, especially kind of towards the beginning of your journey, 2 pounds, 1.5 to 2 pounds is more, typical. But half pound to 1 pound is, I would say half pound to 1 pound is probably more more of what you would expect on average for your own journey. So just to kind of set that precedent for yourself. And at the end of the day, though, it's not all about the scale, right? Especially if you're at the beginning, you're getting into strength training. The scale will probably move less than you expect it to, just to be honest, because you're going to be building muscle too. You're going to be going through body recomp, and so just expect that, right? Expect at the beginning if you're starting to strength train. And I'm not saying this to deter you from it. I think you should definitely strength train if you're starting a fitness journey, because you're gonna have a much better time during the process, and in the long term you're going to see better results. But just know and expect, do it for the sake of like doing it, just doing it, and the health of it, and like learning a new skill and falling in love with the process, and then the results are going to come with time. Okay. So other than that, I hope that was helpful, I hope that was valuable. But that's why sustainable weight loss is the best way to go. That's why that range is like a good general rule of thumb to follow for yourself, because you're gonna have all these benefits from doing it that way, like I just kind of talked about. So hope that was valuable. Hope you got value from this. If you did, let me know your number one takeaway in the comments down below. Feel free to give this video a like. Helps other people see it with the algorithm. And yeah, other than that, hashtag replay if you're watching this later time. But yeah, have a good rest of your day, guys, and I'll talk to you all later. I'm gonna answer and do a little bit of a Q&A on TikTok. So yeah, talk to you guys later. Bye.